Good afternoon. Fade to black breaking news for this Thursday, March 14th, 2024. This is all of the news that you need. I'm Jimmy Church. Happy Pi Day. That's right. It's 3/14/2024. I wonder if that continues. Nah, it doesn't. I'm not that smart. But happy Pi Day, everybody. Help support the show. Get yourself a Fade to Black T-shirt. The links are below. Everything is autographed, includes shipping. The links are below. 2 shirts, 2 ways to get them. Get your Fade to Black T-shirts today. When you get your T-shirts, take a picture. Send it to us. We'll add it to the Fade or Not gallery. All right. We've got a busy day in front of us. Coming up after the news, and a busy day on the news, by the way. Coming up after the news on Mysteries with the History, I'll be on with Christina Gomez, and we are going to cover her take on the 2024 Aero UAP report that was just released last week. Then later on tonight, Christina will be my guest on Fade to Black, and we're going to do my take on the 2024 Aero report. We have a lot of crossover viewers, and I enjoy that. And so for you, you're going to get 2 different takes on the report. That way you can get your own take, your third version. I'm going to provide a download link for you to get the report, and you can do your own assessment. A lot of people are out there talking about it. I have not read the critiques from everybody else. I want my opinions to be my own. We've got a very, very busy day around here. Starting right now with the news, let's get straight to it. On this day in history, 1958, the RIAA, that's the Recording Industry Association of America, I think that's what it is, awards the first official gold record to Perry Como for his smash hit single, Catch a Falling Star. A song you probably never heard. Now, this was a huge surprise considering it was two years after the arrival of Elvis Presley. And so they want me to believe that Perry Como outsold Elvis Presley. That's a conspiracy. All right, let's get to the Fader fact. A recent study by Union College showed that joining a fraternity during college decreased a student's GPA down by an average of 0.25 points. But it also led to a 36% increase in their future earnings. Wow. I'm going to leave that right there. Let's get to the breaking news. It went down today. SpaceX's Starship rocket, designed to send astronauts to the moon and beyond, completed nearly an entire test flight to space on its 3rd try earlier today, but was destroyed during its return to Earth after making it farther than ever before. SpaceX, NASA, everybody's calling it a success. During a live broadcast of the flight, SpaceX commentators said Mission Control lost communications with the spacecraft during its atmospheric re-entry at hypersonic speed. The vehicle was nearing a planned splashdown in the Indian Ocean about an hour after launch from South Texas. A few minutes later, SpaceX confirmed that the spacecraft had been lost, presumably either burning up or coming apart during re-entry or crashing into the sea. For reasons that were left unclear, SpaceX opted to skip one of the test flight's core objectives, an attempt to reignite one of the Starship's Raptor engines while it coasted in a shallow orbit. That milestone is considered key to its future success. But it made it up there. Wow. And we have to remember, this is the key core component to getting astronauts to the moon in 2026. All right. NASA has restored communications with their Voyager 1 spacecraft out there in interstellar space after months of receiving strings of ones and zeros. Yesterday, the team announced a significant step in breaking through to Voyager 1. After so much stress and unsuccessful answers, they have managed to decode at least a portion of the spacecraft's gobbledygook, right? Allowing them to maybe find a way to see what it has been trying to say. The Voyager 1 team at JPL had traced the problem to the spacecraft's flight data system, an onboard computer that parses and parcels engineering and science measurements for subsequent radio transmittal back to Earth. One possibility was that a high-energy cosmic particle had struck Voyager 1 and caused a bit flip within the system's memory, something that has happened more frequently as the craft navigates the hostile wilds of interstellar space. It's pretty good news. And it's also pretty amazing when you consider the distance. New research has unveiled a giant volcano and possible sheet of buried glacier ice on Mars. The site is in the eastern part of the Tharsis volcanic province near the Mars equator. The feature has been missed since Mariner 9 collected imagery of that site back in 1971. The finding was reported during the 55th Lunar and Planetary Scientific Conference, now underway in The Woodlands, Texas. The study was conducted using data from NASA's Mariner 9, Viking Orbiter 1 and 2, Mars Global Surveyor, Mars Odyssey, and Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter missions, as well as the European Space Agency Mars Express mission. Lead author in the study is Pascal Lee, a planetary scientist with the SETI Institute and the Mars Institute based at NASA Ames Research Center. This is big news because volcanoes, the possibility of life, and ice and glacier ice, this could be another location to search for that. A new study shows that dung beetles, that's right, scarabs, Egypt, right? Check this out. That dung beetles navigate via the Milky Way. And it's the first known species to do so in the animal kingdom. Now, check this out. The tiny insects can orient themselves to the bright stripe of light generated by our galaxy and move in a line relative to it, according to recent experiments in South Africa. To show that the beetles were focusing on the Milky Way, the team moved scarabs into the Johannesburg Planetarium and found that the beetles could orient equally well under a full starlit sky as when only the Milky Way was present. Then, to confirm the Milky Way results, the team put little cardboard hats on the beetles' heads, blocking their view of the sky. Those beetles just rolled around and around aimlessly. That's incredible. New research co-led by Simon Fraser University and the National Archaeological Anthropological Memory Management NAM Foundation, say that 5 times, and Curacao extends the earliest known human settlement of the island in the Caribbean by centuries. The findings from the team, published in the Journal of Coastal and Island Archaeology, place human occupation of Curacao, an island in the southern Caribbean, as far back as, check this, 5735 BC. That's right. That's almost 6,000 BC, 8,000 years ago. And this is almost 1,000 years earlier than previously thought. And that is incredible. Finally, I'm going to leave you with this. This doesn't curl your toes. You ready? I recently had a long conversation with a friend who had his auto insurance canceled. And he never found out why. We talked about it for a long, long time. He was very concerned. And then, after his insurance was canceled, he was turned down by 7 different insurance companies in a row. And they all told him the same thing. You can apply, but you won't have a decision for a month. So he had to rent a car. Actually went out and had a couple of meetings with them, and he's driving a whatever, rental car, but he had no choice. He had no car insurance. His car was parked in his driveway. That's right. Now, he had told me at the time that he thought it was about a ticket he had a few years ago, and he didn't take traffic school. He just paid the ticket, took the ding, or, the point on his driver's license, and kept driving. He thought that was the deal. Okay, it didn't make any sense to me, but whatever. And at the time of this conversation, I had just gotten insurance on my new Harley. And I got that insurance on my Harley, a motorcycle with a brand new motorcycle license. I'm like the highest risk of anything out there. But I got my insurance on that new Harley on the same day that I called my insurance company. And during that conversation with my insurance company, we also confirmed my auto policy, which got me another discount, on the Harley insurance. I got them on both at the same time. I was done. Fini. It was over. It was easy, like it should be, right? Well, yesterday, I found out his problem. And I haven't let him know yet. He's going to lose it, just like you are. But apparently, this is what happened. LexisNexis. Now, I know what you're going to... What? LexisNexis? What is that? Well, LexisNexis is a New York-based global data broker with risk solutions for, and that caters to, the auto insurance industry. And it has traditionally kept tabs on car accidents and tickets. Okay? Today, LexisNexis collects your data from car manufacturers with the apps for the cars that they sell you. Apps like OnStar. Now, all of your rapid accelerations, your hard braking, your fast turns, your excessive speed is analyzed by LexisNexis, and that driving data is used to create a risk score for insurers about you. Modern cars are internet enabled. That's right. We know this. Allowing access to services like navigation and roadside assistance and car apps that drivers can connect to their vehicles to locate them or unlock them remotely. Right? Of course. Automakers and data brokers that have partnered to collect detailed driving data from millions of Americans say they have drivers' permission to do so. But the existence of these partnerships is nearly invisible to drivers, whose consent is obtained in fine print and murky privacy policies that few read. And that includes you. Some drivers with vehicles made by GM say they were tracked even when they did not turn on the feature called OnStar Smart Driver, and that their insurance rates went up as a result. GM confirmed that it shares data about hard braking, hard accelerating, speeding over 80 miles an hour, and drive time with LexisNexis, and another data broker that works with the insurance industry called Verisk. After LexisNexis and Verisk get data from consumers' cars, they sell that information, your data, about how people are driving to insurance companies. To access it, the insurance companies must get consent from the drivers, say, like when they go out shopping for car insurance and sign off on boilerplate language that gives insurance companies the right to pull third-party reports about you. Now, we're all used to that, right? You go and apply for insurance, and do I consent for it? And you're assuming it's maybe your credit score. But I'm telling you right now, you never thought that you had a driver's report card out there being bought and sold by data collectors. Verisk provides insurers with trip data and risk score approved by insurance regulators in 46 states and the District of Columbia. As of 2023, LexisNexis says they have data on over 10 million U.S. drivers. And Verisk says it has, and I'm putting this in air quote, millions. But neither of them have me or my data. That's right. I don't have an app hooked up to my Jeep. I don't have an app hooked up to my Harley. I do not. But now, you know. And I also have to make that call to my friend. Yeah, it's going to be dark. Seriously. There's all the Fade to Black breaking news that you need for this Thursday, March 14th. Happy Pi Day 2024. Breaking news is produced by Renee Neumann. I'm Jimmy Church. Now, busy day today. So right after this, in about an hour, I'm on with Christina Gomez. Mysteries with the History. We are going to be doing her take on the 2024 Aero UAP report. Then, later on tonight on Fade to Black, Christina Gomez is going to be my guest on Fade to Black, where we're going to do my take on the 2024 Aero UAP report. But for now, all I've got is Go Back Lee Tappy.